Well, I gotta be kind of quiet because the rest of the family's asleep. But Iowa State, at the end of the night, Iowa State did not play well enough to win any tournament game against anybody. A 1 seed, a 6 seed, an 11 seed, clearly. You can't go almost 11 minutes in the game without scoring a basket from the floor. They had 3 free throws. I think they went 15 or 16 straight possessions without a basket. And frankly, that's just not good enough. They didn't have good enough post play to stop Caleb Wesson. They didn't shoot the ball well. You go 12 or 11 minutes, 16 possessions or something like that without scoring the ball, you're not going to win too many games, if any game. So I just want to preface this by saying Iowa State, I do not think played particularly well enough to win this game. However, they were still in this game because Ohio State didn't play well enough to win either. Ohio State had an 11-minute period where Iowa State didn't score a basket, and they only got up by 4 or 3 to end the first half. I think they were up 3 at halftime or 4 at halftime, something like that. And I really want to go into this. You guys know that I love blaming officials. This is going to be another one of those times. So if you don't want to hear that, if you're sick and tired of hearing people blame the officials, I would just click away from this video now. I'm going to point to 2 specific plays. There was Marial Shayok got a rebound under the basket after, I believe it was a missed three-pointer or missed shot, and the official said he stepped out of bounds. Now, it's clear as day to everyone watching the game at home, wherever, that Shayok doesn't step out of bounds. It's clear to everybody. I don't care what color shoes he's wearing. I don't care what color the out-of-bounds line is. Clear to everybody that he doesn't step out. So Ohio State gets the ball back, and they score a basket. They extend their lead. I think they were up at that point. They go extend their lead. And then I believe it was later in the game, Tyrese Halliburton gets a steal. He jumps up for a pass, like to try to knock down a pass. He jumps up, puts his hands up, kind of. It's almost like he was going for a kicked ball just to kind of stop the pass. He lands, and he's got his hands out, like a normal guarding position. And the ball hits the inside of his left hand. Inside of his left hand. They called it a kicked ball. Tyrese Halliburton would have had a steal and a dunk at the other end. So that's 2 points, at least. Maybe there's a trailer that hits a 3. 2 points at least. Ohio State gets the ball back because it's a kicked ball, and they score. That's a 4-point swing. Take away 2, add 2, 4-point swing. Take away 2, add 2, 4-point swing. The underlying message of all of this, regardless of your team, Ohio State fans, I'm looking at you because I know deep down you agree with this. If I go into work tomorrow, if I go into my job tomorrow, and I don't do my job correctly, I get suspended, I get fired, I get, berated by my boss. My boss is going to make me pay for my mistakes. You can't mess up. It's the real world now, guys. If a coach talks about poor officiating, if he criticizes, if a player criticizes, player, coach, AD, we've seen Jamie Pollard do this in the past. Somebody criticizes an official, they get fined, okay? You can't criticize an official. I can criticize an official. NCAA is not going to come after me. Okay? The underlying message of all of this is officials across every sport. NFL, MLB, NBA, college basketball, college football, hockey, whatever whatever sport you're watching. Officials need to be held more accountable. If you criticize an official, boom, fine. Boom, suspended. Boom, whatever. Officials need to be held accountable. That is their job that they're doing out there on the court. Look, we can talk about the other controversies. Should student athletes be paid? Shouldn't they? What should be the extra benefits of being a student athlete? We could go on and on and on about all that. The underlying tone across every single sport, soccer even. I don't even watch that much soccer. I'd include that. Is that officials need to be held more accountable for what they do. If they mess up a call, look, here's the thing, is people are upset when officials review a play in the final 2 minutes. Get the calls right. Listen, people, officials need to get the calls right. That's the underlying message of this. Look, I understand if your team is up by 12 with 30 seconds to go and they're reviewing which team the ball went out on, there's not really a point. It doesn't really matter. There's 20 seconds left. You're up by 12. All right? There's not going to be a comeback. But if you're Iowa State and you're Ohio State, it doesn't matter who's winning that game. Okay? It doesn't matter. That game was close from the tip to the final buzzer. It was a single-digit game. From 40 minutes to go to 0 minutes. It was a single-digit ball game. And people are complaining that there's reviews in the final 2 minutes. That is absurd to me. You are sad. You are so... I can't even think of the words. If you think that replaying fouls, replaying who the ball is out on, if you think that is not something that should be done, I cannot help you. I'm sorry, I cannot help you. Officials need to get calls right. Oh, well, it's subjective if it's a foul or not, if he hit him in the arm or if he hit him in... People, it is not hard to tell who the ball goes out on. It's not hard to tell if you hit the hand or the ball. It makes two different noises. People, it's not hard. Officials need to be held accountable for their actions. Players and coaches should be able to criticize them. There was just yesterday, Tom Izzo, a coach that I have a lot of respect for, Tom Izzo at Michigan State. He yelled at one of his players for taking a bad shot, having a bad possession, and people lit him up. Oh, this isn't a coach that I want to be, coaching me. I want my coach to bring me up as opposed to, throwing me to the ground. People, this is a sport. This is those coaches' job. Again, we can go on and on about this. Should college athletes be paid? I'm willing to have that discussion. Officials need to be held more accountable. Coaches and players should have more liberty, more freedom in expressing what they say. Now, look, you can't, if you're a coach, be, oh, those fucking officials cost us every fucking point. No. Okay, there does need to be some line that's drawn. But when an official comes out and says, we've been on the short end of several controversial calls, like what Jamie Pollard did a few years ago after I believe it was the Iowa State-Texas football game. When he comes out and says that, because you guys know Iowa State has got a wall with all their Big 12 apology letters, and guess what? They're going to be adding one more to that list after tonight. Officials need to be held more accountable for their actions. I can't believe I've only been talking about this 9 minutes. It feels like I've been talking about this forever. I've got a headache from screaming and yelling so much tonight, and I'm just sitting in my basement. I feel bad. To my friends that were here, I feel bad for the way that I acted tonight. But you know what? The underlying point still stands. Referees need to be held more accountable. I have no problem. If you review a play for 20 minutes to make sure that you get it right, I have no problem with that, regardless of what team. Whether that's Kansas, Kentucky, North Carolina, Duke, Iowa State, Ohio State, Iowa, Cincinnati. I could go on and on. There's 350 teams. I can sit here and list them all if you want. Referees need to be held more accountable. They need to get calls right. This stupid nonsense about taking replay out of college basketball and trying to limit replays is stupid. It's nonsense. It's absurd. Get the calls right, review them if you have to, and let coaches and players express themselves when they have to suffer a terrible loss like what happened to Iowa State tonight. I'll see you guys next time.